Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 15th of August 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so excuse me. Before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and also our JFD bank website, but specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis, and I believe you can find something useful here. So yeah, feel free to check us out. But right now, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the DAX. Now, I looked at DAX this morning, and basically I was saying that we could see further declines here. The index managed to drop below the 11,550 zone, so this in a way increases the chances for a further decline. Initially, I was kind of hoping for maybe a bit of a larger correction, but as you can see, we did have a correction, but not a significant one, and it kind of quickly sold off, traveled towards our target here in near the 11,300 zone, even actually overshot it, and now you can see that the index kind of reversed back to the upside. It seems that it wants to pull back up here again. For now, as long as it remains trading below this downside resistance line, we are going to remain cautiously bearish on this one, and we're going to continue targeting lower areas. Of course, here what could happen here is, of course, we could see maybe a bit of a larger correction here, and if this downside line continues to hold, we will aim for the 11,300 level again. So again, guys, long story short, for now we're still aiming for the downside in order for us, let's say, to shift our views higher. Now, given that it moved already more to the lower side here, initially what I was saying, that in order to get comfortable with the further upside here, or I should say the upside in general, ideally we would like to see a push above the 11,835 zone right here, and then aim for higher levels. But like I said, given that it already kind of drifted a little bit further to the downside, now we could target, what we could look at here is, of course, if we see a break of this downside line and we see a push above the 11,650 zone here, this is where we could start considering slightly higher levels, and then we will aim for the 11,835 zone, and then of course a break of that would kind of confirm a better move higher here. So that's why for now, be very careful here. We could see a bit more retracement here to the upside, but as long as it remains below this downside line, we will continue aiming to the downside. Now, for those who are more on the cautious side, you could in a way wait until we see a drop below this 11,300 level, and then we could consider further declines, deeper declines here, maybe going all the way here initially towards this little low, near the low of 15th of February, and that's around the 11,020 zone. But if that fails to withhold, of course, further declines are possible. But again, let's not over speculate here. You can see that we are having a nice rebound. Let's see if this downside line holds. If it does, then yep, that's good news for the bears. Jumping into another index very quickly, and that's Nasdaq100. So yesterday, as you know, the equity markets took a strong hit. So Nasdaq sold off heavily and lost about around 3% on a day. And looking at the cash index right now and where it is trading at this point in time, it is currently sitting around the 7,520 zone, 2030, approximately around there. So basically, it traveled lower, the cash index traveled lower, tested this lower side of the rising wedge. I mean, actually broke it slightly to the downside, but was quick to recover above it. And now, like I said, the cash index is currently around the 7,525.30 zone. So in a way, what could happen here, of course, if the 7,600 level continues to hold, because in a way we could see a bit of correction here back to the upside, maybe back towards this 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. We could see this one, like I said, the index traveling back up here. But if the 7,600 level continues to hold the price from underneath here, then we could see another leg of selling, maybe dropping back again towards this this lower side of the rising wedge formation, or in other words, this medium-term upward support line. We could see another test of it, and still for us the main kind of trigger point here for further declines, or should I say declines in the near term, we would ideally like to see not only a break of this lower side of the rising wedge, but also a drop below the 7,355 level right here, and only then we will aim for further deeper declines, because this way the index would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, more sellers could be joining in here. So that's why, guys, for now, be very careful. Like I said, the index did retrace somewhat. It is currently, looking at the cash index, it is currently hanging around here. So let's see if this index manages to push above the 7,600 level again. If it does, then we will consider these levels here that were tested around around the middle of this week. So the 7,726.25 zone, this could be initially our good area of resistance, but if that gets broken, then yep, it could travel further up. But like I said, the main areas to watch for today, of course, are the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart and the 7,600 level. If it gets a break, then we could see a little bit high, the index moving a little bit higher. But if it holds, this is our scenario that we're keeping in mind: a bit of a curve and another slide lower. Let's jump into a few pairs now very quickly, and that's the first one I want to touch on is the USDCAD. Now, I talked about this one this morning. Basically, I was saying that we may see a bit of a further slide lower towards this pivot, and this is what happened. The pair tested the pivot. It overshot it a little bit, but was quick to recover back above it, and you can see now it's pushing towards the upside again. It's testing this key area of resistance near the 1.3325 zone. It did have a bit of an overshoot, but our next target, more important target, is around the 1.3345. Of course, as you are aware, the retail sales came out from the US. I mean, we did have from the from UK as well initially, but the US retail sales also came out better than expected. Also, I mean, because the UK ones came out better than expected, so the US dollar is getting a nice push here, and it's traveling higher. Again, for those who are more on the cautious side, you could in a way wait until we see a push above the 1.3345. This way the pair would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could aim for the 1.3387. That area acted as a good, very good area of support previously. This time we could take the role of resistance, but slightly above that we do have the 1.3432 zone, which marks the high of around the 18th of June, the high of the 18th of June, and that could be a nice good potential target as well. But for now, again, let's be very careful here. It is breaking the 1.3325 level right now. The next target for us is around the 1.3345. If that gets a break as well, then like I said, this could be opening the path towards higher levels. In terms of the downside, we are going to take a very, very conservative approach still. The 1.32 level, that's where we're looking for in order to kind of aim for deeper declines here, at least in the short run. But again, for now, it is kind of difficult, slightly difficult to talk about the downside because it is pushing higher. EURGBP. So this one is doing everything perfectly what I've talked about when I talked about your GBP yesterday, and also in my in the earlier videos this week. Basically, what I was saying, that we need to see a drop below the 0.9250 before we could consider a further decline here, and our next target would be around the 0.9170. So we're almost having a perfect touch here of the 0.9170. The pair is sliding lower. Now again, it's going to be quite interesting to see, to be honest, how this week is going to close, because we still have 1 day to go, and if we see a bearish close this week, this would be the first week that it would close in the negative territory. So after having this this fantastic run of, if I'm not mistaken, that's 13 weeks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 weeks. That's correct. After 14 weeks of solid gains here, EURGBP could be on a road of closing in the negative territory for the first time. So excuse me, guys. So basically what I'm saying is that keep an eye on today's activity. Again, like I said, given the fact that it dropped below the 0.9250, this of course opened the path towards the next area of support here near the 0.9170, which we had almost a perfect touch. So we will continue targeting lower areas. If this decides to break, if the 0.9170 level breaks, the next area for us of support could be seen around the 0.9124 zone, or even actually near this 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So for now, keep your eyes on this. Don't get me wrong, we could see even something like this happening again, and basically a rebound from the 0.9170, maybe traveling a little bit higher here, testing the area around the 0.92, and then selling off again. So this could be a nice idea. Let's keep an eye on it. If the pair suddenly travels back above the 0.9250, now this is where we will become a little bit more neutral. We will, because this could place this pair back in this little kind of range, this previous range. Of course, it no longer would be a range, but still, for us to get more excited about the upside, ideally, we would like to see a push above the 0.9225 level here. So keep your eyes on that one. GBPJPY is having a nice boost here today. So it's rebounding from the 127.45 zone and pushing higher. The only thing is still it's kind of struggling to get towards this 129.22, 23 zone, which marks the high of the 13th of August. And in order, let's say, to consider aiming for slightly higher levels, well, ideally we would like to see a nice good push above this 122.23 before targeting, let's say, the 130s zone. So 130, 130.07. This could be a nice potential target here near the 100 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, shown as the green line. And but of course, if that fails to withhold, then yep, further moves higher could be possible. But again, let's keep it short and simple for now. Let's see how this is going to play out. Again, it is looking quite good right now, but let's be very careful here. Yes, we are getting a nice boost here from the pound today, but this is basically what we were saying here today in our daily analysis, the daily morning analysis. If we see some good results from the retail sales figures, so the retail sales figures came out better than expected. The only thing is that what I was saying in my report this morning, that yes, if we get a better reading, better than expected reading, we could see that initial push in the pound, but the readings, the numbers that came out were still worse than the previous one. So in a way, this rally, this pound rally, could be short-lived because still the Brexit issue remains. I mean, that's probably more, it has that, well, not probably, but that has more weight on the whole pound. So that's why, guys, yes, we are having a nice push here. The retail sales are giving a nice boost here for the pound today, but again, be very careful with this one. Like I said, that's why we're gonna keep an eye on these potential breakout points. So on the GBPJPY is going to be this 129.23. If we get a push above this, then yep, we will aim for higher. But if it stalls around here, then we could see the pair ranging for a little bit more here. So for now, keep your eyes on these. In terms of the downside, well, it's pretty straightforward here, as you can see by the lines. Drop below the 127.45. In the short run, this could open the path towards slightly lower areas, but if this 126.75 level breaks, then well, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could aim for further decline. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. The same story is basically on all the GBP pairs. So GBPUSD, looking at this one, yes, I mean, it broke our barrier here near the 1.2907. It broke it nicely to the upside. Of course, this opens the path now towards slightly higher levels. We could see maybe this one pushing a little bit higher. The only thing is that, again, coming back to the same issue with the retail sales figures. Yes, we did get a nice push higher, but again, there are a lot of obstacles for the pound to move higher. So especially, like I said, the Brexit issues. So and as we know right now, the Europe in general is getting ready for a no deal exit, Britain's exit with a no deal. So that could be weighing in on the pound as well later on. So of course, the bulls might be enjoying the moment right now, but later on everything could change. So excuse me. So for now, like I said, that's why this break here above the 1.2107 did open the path towards the 1.22 zone. It could, in a way, travel towards the 1.2210 here, but we'll take it from there, see if it actually wants to push further up here. It might end up ranging here for a while. So that's why, guys, for now, from the very short-term perspective, yes, it could, in a way, travel a little bit higher, but be very careful with all the Brexit developments. GBPCAD, similar story here. The only thing is, the only more positive thing that I can say about the GBPCAD here is that it managed to break this downside resistance line here taken from the high of May. So this, of course, could be a nice good sign here for GBPCAD. The only thing is that probably we're gonna take a very careful approach here and wait for a weekly candle to close above this. If we see a weekly candle closing above this downside line, then in a way there could be a possibility for this one to push higher. The only thing is that, as you can see by the arrow that I've drawn here, ideally for us to, let's say, to get comfortable with higher levels in the near term here, ideally we would like to see a push above the 1.6254-55 zone. This way the pair would also be placed above its 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart, and then yep, we could aim for these higher levels that were last time seen in July. So for now, guys, be very careful with this one. Yes, it is pushing above its downside line, but like I said, keep your eyes on tomorrow's trading as well. We'll see how that plays out. Tomorrow is not a very eventful day in terms of data, economic data, so it's going to be probably everything is going to be the main focus is going to be on the political side of it. But again, like I said, for now, yes, from this particular moment in time, it is looking quite positive. It is trying to make its way higher, but ideally we would like to see a push above the 1.6255 before examining further moves higher. So keep your eyes on that one. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I do apologize for coughing, for trying to clear my voice. So before my next video, I'll try to clear my voice better. And yep, but like I said, I hope you liked the video. If you want to join me tomorrow morning as my Traders Espresso, as always, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. So for now, I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.